So many foreigners are beginning to pack their bags and leave Ghana. In 2019, they came so many, 2020, 2021. And now, reality is beginning to sink in. The honeymoon phase is over. The sun, and feeling like you belong is over. And reality hits in that this is your life, and you're like, wait a minute. I don't like this. This is not working for me. This is not for me. Why are foreigners leaving? What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the vlog. My name is Ndiro Ganga. I just wanted to come out here and have like a quick chat with you guys. I mean, a lot has been happening. Why am I looking ashy and white? Anyway, it's the lighting. I guess it's just bringing out that effect. Anyway, I wanted to come out here real quick and just have a quick chat with you guys. Now, a lot has been happening to the diaspora community. I mean, I did a story on, I think I spoke to Tim, and he was talking about how people come to Ghana and then they're unable to live here, they're unable to afford being in Ghana, and they're forced to move out and go back to maybe where they came from, America, Canada, Australia. And I've also done a series of interviews, which you will see, of very many foreigners saying how they came to Ghana and they're now unable to afford living here, and unfortunately they have to leave and go back home to where they came from. So I wanted us to discuss that briefly, and why are foreigners going broke when they come to Ghana. So I think, one, we need to understand that Ghana is not the cheapest of place to be. It's a little bit costly to be here. It costs a lot, not a little, it costs a lot. When you look at rent prices, particularly if you're from the diaspora community, you're likely to be charged rent in dollars. And the neighborhoods that you live, rent go up to $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 a month, okay? And then you add, say, food. You want, there are days you want to immerse yourself in the local experience, but say you want to go and eat out with your friends, that's also not cheap. It's quite costly. Just a simple meal with 3 friends at a restaurant can cost you up to, like, I mean, $200, you know? So there's that aspect of the food. The moving around, Uber and stuff is not easy. When you talk about processing your papers, particularly if you're not coming to work and you're just coming as an individual to try and explore, you'll have to pay for residence and work permit, which go in excess of $2,000. So when you come, you're always paying money. And remember, like the rent, you won't pay rent for a month. Sometimes you pay a year upfront or 2 years. So even if on the minimum your rent is $2,000, you'll need $24,000 a year to be able to get a place. If you're running a business, then you have to also pay rent for your business. By the time you're done paying rent for your business, then there is overhead costs, the water, the electricity, the paying of your people, and it just, the cost adds up and adds up and adds up, and before you know it, boom, you're spending so much money, you know. And most of the time when people are coming here, initially, maybe now it's changing and people are keeping their remote jobs and stuff like that, but initially when people would come, you would just like take out your savings and come to Ghana and start life and see where it goes. Now, that can work, right? But most of the time, it doesn't, because before you start making money, it takes a year or two, okay? And remember, you're taking money from your account. You keep taking, you keep taking, you keep taking. Before you notice, you've taken out so much money and money is not yet coming in. And that is where it begins getting frustrated for many people who come here. And also remember, the systems do not necessarily work like they work in the developed economies that you might be coming from. And so the little things begin frustrating you, you know. When there's a blackout, you can't see beyond it. You're like, oh my God, when I was in America, when I was in Canada, you know, and when there's water shortage and when there's traffic, right now there's flooding. So all these things begin getting to you, and you realize that you've spent so much money. Before people know it, you've burned 10K, 20,000, 30,000, sometimes even $50,000, and you've enjoyed the experience. You live at a place where you're not black, you feel seen, you feel heard, you're able to explore with life, but you're not making money, and that's stressful. It can stress anybody. Let nobody lie to you. And Accra can also be a very busy and chaotic city. So everything just coupled together, you feel like you're going to drown in the chaos. And that's the moment or the point where many people go like, this is it, I can't do this, I'm going back to America or Australia or Canada. At least I know I'll have constant water, electricity, better infrastructure, the system works, and I'll be able to make money because there's so many job opportunities. The pay in Ghana is not that competitive, particularly if you're not being hired as an expert. So if you're being paid as a local in cities, it's hard. But if you're being paid like in dollars, it's easy. Which brings me to the essence of this video. So why are we going broke? It's because we're doing all these things, and this is not an ideal model where we come to live in Ghana, but we're living in Ghana the way we were living when we came to visit. So when I would come to visit, I would live like in Osu, and you're spending so much money, you're eating out, you're taking Ubers, you're just enjoying. But remember, when you're living here, even in the States, like, would you live in an Airbnb that's worth like $250 a night? No. So you have to treat it as, this is my life, this is my home, and go as lean as possible. First of all, let's start with rent prices. We know that rent prices in Accra can be really expensive. So why would you want to live around, particularly say if you're running a business or it's remote or still in the initial phases? So find a house that's slightly outside the outskirts of Accra. You'll be surprised when you leave East Legon, Trasacco, all these fanciest neighborhoods, when you leave them and just drive like 15, 20, 30 minutes, the rent drops from about $1,500 to maybe $500. And it's a decent place. So you need to be able to trade off. Ghana is not just Accra. Yes, Accra is the capital city and we all want to be here, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Like, for example, for me, should I decide that I am quitting my jobs and maybe I just want to work remotely and shoot content, I'll not live in Accra. I'll go live in Tama, or I'll go live in Pokwase, or I'll go live in Amasaman, because there for $50, $100, or even $200, you get such an amazing property. And that allows you to be able to cut on all the money that you're spending on things that you could be saving. So rent, if you're coming to Ghana, please consider living outside of Accra. And I'm not saying go live in Kumasi or Takoradi, which is something that you can also do depending on what you're doing. But I'm saying move away from the fancy neighborhoods where they charge a lot of money and try look for something that's at least outside of the central business district, and a place where it's decent, electricity, water is up to your liking. You'll find nice places outside of Accra, and that should be able to work really well for you. Even in Tema, a property that they charge $500 a month is like a really nice home, and you can live there, you know, and that's, you've saved yourself $1,000. Now let's look at transport. If you know that you're going to be here for a longer while, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, I would suggest you just buy a car once and for all. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can buy a smaller car, because the essence is just to get around. Uber charges are not the cheapest of things. Sometimes when you're in traffic, it goes to 60, 70, 100 cedis. Imagine doing that every single day. Even like fuel doesn't cost that much. I know prices are going up, but it's not that much. So work with maybe getting yourself a car, or if you can get acquainted to the local mode of transportation, which is Trotro. I use Trotro personally. Unless I'm going to a place that I don't know and I'm in a rush, then that's when I take an Uber. But most of the time, I take a Trotro. A distance that would take 17 cedis or 20 cedis with an Uber takes only 3 or 4 cedis with a Trotro. You've saved yourself money. So that's another way where you can cut on your expenses. The other thing is eating out. Now, we all love an experience, yeah, but there are other affordable restaurants. So you can go to Shogun once a week, or Bondi, you can go there once a week. Then the other days you can go to more affordable restaurants. You can go to Thayer. Shout out to Thayer, it's a really nice restaurant. I mean, there are many other options. Nobody has paid me to promote them, but I'm promoting Thayer because she's a friend and I've been there. Absolutely amazing ambience, good food. So you can trade the fancy restaurants for an average restaurant that you can have good food, nice ambience. Also, you can try choppers, or you can buy groceries and cook at home. Trust you me, you'll save so much money. So once a week you can go out, you can experience, you can eat out, but if you can, please, please, please cook at home, eat at home. It saves you a lot of money. When it comes to running a business, one, look for somebody who will help you, who's a local. It saves you time, and time is money. It saves you money because a local will know who to pay. Okay, because if you're going there alone, you'll be frustrated, and you might end up paying so many people and it doesn't get done because you don't know who to pay. But, and this is something I'm saying because I've spoken to so many people who've started businesses here who say 6 months down the line, I was trying to do it by myself, I haven't been able to do it, and it's just frustrating. They tell you, go come back with this, go come back with this. Get a local who can help you. They know the way around the system. In 2-3 weeks, a month, it will be done. Unfortunately, sometimes that's how things work in this part of the world, and not just here, in many African countries. So if you can, look for a local, let them help you. In terms of running the business, be very careful with what business you want to come and run here. Not all businesses pick up and not all businesses do well. So let's say, for example, you want to do something in line of beauty, skincare, shea butter, from the north, right? I interviewed a lady, Tatiana. She's Spanish, so she comes here, she lives here actually together with her partner. They make the shea butter themselves, and then she packages it and goes and sells it in Spain. You'll still make your money. In fact, by the time it gets to Spain, it's triple the cost, right? And obviously she has to cover her business expenses, but my point is, it is good business. So looking at her business model, then you can also maybe try and adopt something like that. It doesn't, the business that you do, you don't necessarily have to target the local market. You can be making, say, for example, black soup, and you're from, I don't know, Scotland or Switzerland or, I don't know, Jamaica. You can do that here. And if that kind of product is not available where you are, then you can ship it and go sell it there, So there are very many other business models that we can all explore. When you're looking for a house, this is with regards to water, electricity, please, 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 don't just talk to the landlord. They will lie to you. They will tell you exactly what you want to hear. So in that neighborhood, or the agent, talk to 2 or 3 people that live there. Let them tell you the frequency at which they get blackouts, the frequency at which they get water and electricity, so that you make an informed decision. Also, I know that there are houses that are on several meter lines. So if light is lost on this line, the other second line that the house is connected to still has electricity. Unfortunately, I didn't know that when I was looking for my house, and I had to struggle with blackouts. So now we've pressurized our landlord to put that. Also with water, you need to know how frequently water comes, so that you're able to plan. So it saves you these little shocks, Also, if maybe depending on the neighborhood that you live, find out if they have maybe a backup generator. How frequently will you be contributing for the fuel? Is it a monthly thing, or is it anytime there's light out, then you contribute? So just knowing these very, very small things. And there's something I learned from Kojo North: attitude, attitude, attitude. I wish I knew that before I came. You just have to, when you get to the airport, just say, this is going to be whatever it's going to be. Any expectations, get rid of them, leave them at the airport. Just come as you are and say, whatever happens, I'm gonna be fluid and I'm gonna go with the flow. That will help you, because even if things are slow or things don't go right, you didn't have a lot of expectations. So all these things, but most importantly, money. Money, money, money. By the time you come here, where's your money coming from? It will take 2 years at least for you to stabilize. So where are you getting your money from? I had to take up a local job, one, because of my paperwork, to process my paperwork, and also so that I don't have to keep digging into my savings, which I still do. But it's not as if I 100% depend on my savings right now. So you really need to know. I know a friend of mine who took a remote job in America. They live here, but they took a remote job in America. The job will involve him traveling back and forth between Ghana and the States, but he's making an American salary in Ghana. So it can allow him the time and the space to grow and develop in Ghana at his own pace, without the urgency of this thing needs to work, this thing needs to work. So even if it takes 3 or 5 years to work, his remote job is cushioning him from all the impact that could have come, financial impact that could have come if he didn't have his job. I don't know if there's anything that I've left out and you're part of the diaspora community and you've moved to Ghana and it's something you've learned that has helped you stay here a little bit longer. Share in the comments section. Also, when you get here, please look for your fellow diaspora community. Here's the thing. A Ghanaian will tell you the experience, but they're telling you the experience as a Ghanaian. A foreigner needs to tell you the experience as a foreigner, because you're likely to go through what they'll go through, you know. Say, for example, my frustrations about blackouts are not the same as the person who lives here frustration about blackout. Say, my frustration about money and not being able to say, if maybe you're spending a lot, a local is not charged the very same way a foreigner is being charged. So if you talk about something, like, your fellow foreigners will be able to understand, and they'll be able to better help you. Like, say, if you're missing home food, or it's just a small thing. So find a community of foreigners like you. I'm not just saying hang out with foreigners, but I'm saying once in a while you will need people that have gone through what you're going through and understand. If you need to process papers at immigration, trust you me, a foreigner is best placed to maybe lead you to a Ghanaian who can help you, because they've been through this, and they won't take you to someone who frustrated them. Obviously, they'll take you to someone who they know will help you get your paperwork as quickly as possible. If you found this tips any helpful, comment down below. Guys, let's just get to 10K. Please subscribe. We've been here for a long time. We've been at 8K for a long time. Let's get to 10K. It was an absolute pleasure chatting with you guys. I'll see you again over the weekend. Oh my God, we'll be making Kenyan food, or at least we'll be trying.